Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You guys will forever and always love Freya, Skye, and it shows with the outpouring of love and support you gave her and you showed her at the Worlds Collide Tour this summer, making it the greatest summer of my life, because I not only got to review the Worlds Collide Tour, but I saw Freya, Skye showcase her true worth and her true talent, which I really appreciated, and I fell in love with Freya, Skye because of it, because of each and every one of you bringing it to my attention. People were emailing me about Freya, Skye, wanting more Freya, Skye reviews, and we're making it happen for you on this YouTube channel. There are a lot of people who work behind the scenes to make this YouTube channel a reality for all of us, and I want to say thank you guys so much to each and every single person who has ever subscribed to this YouTube channel, making Freya, Skye into a superstar overnight. Because without your love and support, people like Freya, Skye, and Kylie Control would probably just be fading off into obscurity, but because of your love and support, Freya, Skye, and Kylie Control will last eternally. And it showed this summer when you came out by the thousands out of love and support for Freya, Skye. Her performance of Gold's Gone was so emotional, and it struck a chord with me. And I've been hearing the lyrics of that song in my head over and over every day. I watched that music video on Vivo, the Worlds Collide Tour video that was collaborated for the music video Gold's Gone, and I fell in love with it. I have to be honest with each and every one of you. I fell in love with everything having to do with Freya, Skye. The backdrop of her website, FreyaSkye.com, is absolutely fantastic. I've been designing websites for years for high schools and what have you, and I've been uploading things to school websites for forever. And I've never seen a website so fabulously collaborated as what Freya, Skye's website is. Her social media interaction is absolutely outstanding. She always keeps her fans in this informative loop. Just the other day I saw a video Freya, Skye had uploaded of herself playing guitar, and she was having the time of her life because she was entertaining each and every one of you, and she was reaching a global audience. And because of her tremendous reach with this global audience, Freya, Skye has more fans than any pop star that has ever came from Disney. She is going to be the next success story that we're going to be seeing memoirs of, we're going to be reading books about, because Freya, Skye is somebody who has something special, and that is a desire to perform. And her dedication to her desire to perform is what makes characters like Nova and Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires really stand out. For her dedication, no matter how many sacrifices she had to make to spend the rest of her life with Malachi Burton's character Victor, they're going to make more sacrifices in Zombies 5, which makes it the most intriguing plot ever for a Zombies movie, and probably the most excited Zombies movie to be excited for the franchise, because I've seen virtually every Zombies movie over 100 times, each individual movie. But I have never seen a more powerful script brought forth than what we saw in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, setting up for a foreseeable future, for the very near future, for Freya, Skye, and Malachi Burton to just explode in popularity. And it shows with every video that I upload on this YouTube channel. Guys, thank you so much for the numbers you've been putting up on this YouTube channel for every video that I put up here about Freya, Skye, and Malachi Burton. I'm going to keep the flow of these videos going for you guys and try to create as many Freya, Skye videos as possible, because I never think enough attention can be brought to someone like Freya, Skye, who is constantly being overshadowed by the same 3 or 4 celebrities. Sabrina Carpenter, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift are some of the celebrities I can name for you. Every single time I turn on the TV, on syndicated TV, I see an interview with Taylor Swift, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this being a revolving door of the same 4 or 5 celebrities. Ariana Grande's upcoming performance is Blenda the Good Witch in Wicked for Good on November 21st, which I will be attending, or Taylor Swift's Party of a Showgirl album, or her movie, theatrically. I'm tired of hearing about how the reviews of 12.8 million people watched the premiere of Taylor Swift's Party of a Showgirl, when we should be talking about Freya, Skye. You know, we talk about all these concert documentaries that Disney has done for the Jonas Brothers, Hannah Montana, and more recently, Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide. Without any doubt in my mind, Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide was the most revered concert experience of the summer and of all of our lives, and I think that there is a sequel in the works for this without having to wonder about it because of the revenue, the merch sales, the reviews that people were posting, because the greatest reviews of all time came from the fans and happened because of the fans. It wasn't because of the critics that attended the Worlds Collide Tour, because basically what happens, to let you guys in a little secret, people are paid by big-time website creators to attend the Worlds Collide Tour. They don't know anything about the Worlds Collide Tour, so basically what happens is you're standing in the crowd with a notebook and a pencil, and you're writing down jot notes, and then you take it home, and then you review it for a 30-minute long YouTube video with edits into it, a whole bunch of edits, and you upload it to your YouTube channel. You've never ever seen these characters before. You don't know anything about the stars, so the only thing you know how to do is go home and criticize it, and you upload your video and get 30,000 views and 30,000 likes. That has never happened for me in all the years that I've been on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube for a very long time, longer than many of you have ever been alive. And I have never gotten 30,000 views or 30,000 likes for a video that I've uploaded. I never know how much of a reach my videos are going to have, but I know I've reached a global audience when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, which goes without showing that you guys are the most supportive fans in the world. And I say that with a heart and a half, because from my heart to yours, guys, thank you so much. Because you have allowed this YouTube channel to outshine any critics, and you have helped me relay a message of kindness to people like Freya, Skye, and Clarke to let them know that they are so appreciated and they are so loved by thousands of people. Because when they miss their friends, because they're on a tour bus 24 hours of a 24-hour day, and they can't make sense of their own life. Every single time they miss their friends, they have friends in each and every one of us, and this YouTube channel will forever and always be here for people like Freya Skye, because when they are crying because they can't make sense of why a critic reviews them the way they do, that creates a real problem for me. I think that if we're going to upload videos about Freya Skye and Kylie Contrell and every star of Descendants of Zombies about that cast, these casts deserve nothing but the best reviews, and I've just wanted to pride myself on giving that to you guys, because you guys have been watching the same 4 or 5 videos about Descendants of Zombies for far long enough, and it's just like Aladdin wanted Jasmine to trust him in the original Aladdin movie in 1992 before he took her on a magic carpet ride up into the stars. He simply asked her, "Do you trust me?" And I ask that to every Descendants of Zombies fan every single time I upload a video, because if you guys do trust me, I will take you on a magic carpet ride that will give you a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies content, because I really do believe there is a greater appreciation to be had. There's a greater appreciation to be had for every fairy tale that has an emphasis on it from the Descendants franchise, from Alice in Wonderland to Cinderella, which I was incredibly excited we're seeing their entry into the franchise, because this has been waiting on happening for a very long time. Not only did we see Kylie Contrell and Malia Baker bring characters like Chloe Charming and Princess Red to life, we also saw Ruby Rose Turner get an opportunity that she had been waiting on for a very long time. I say this because I remember how emotionally overcome Ruby was when she was presented the honor to play the young Queen of Hearts Bridget, to offer us an explanation and to really set up for the consequences of time travel to be felt in the upcoming Descendants sequel, Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, which is a title I've never felt more intrigued by. I think it is a beautiful title. I think there is so much to be discovered in Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, and I'm really excited to upload videos about Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland in the coming summer, because it's going to be a whole lot of fun for everybody, because I really believe that if there ever was a time to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies, that time is now. The time to celebrate Descendants of Zombies, its legacy, is now, and it's never been more abundantly clear to me with how many fans we have of Freya Skye. Freya Skye has almost 500,000 subscribers on social, which is amazing. That is a rapid-fire ascension. And I have never seen a celebrity excel to the heights of unprecedentedness as rapidly, like rapid fire, like Kylie Contrell and Freya Skye have done. This is truly unbelievable. In less than 1 year, Kylie had 500,000 views on her YouTube channel. Freya Skye, in less than 1 year, has 500,000 subscribers on every social account. So that really shows the love and support that you guys have, which I hope for the foreseeable future you will continue to show for somebody like Freya Skye, because I love writing reviews about people like Freya Skye. I look for the positive side of things to review. I am not a critic. I am a journalist who loves to put together great reviews and great videos for people, and I love to give them, an emphasis on hitting the subscribe button, because everybody who subscribes to this YouTube channel will go away from these videos with a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies. I think that a lot of people review Descendants of Zombies, and honestly, I don't think they've ever watched Descendants of Zombies to ever begin with. I don't think they've ever seen a single moment. They've never shared an experience where you've laughed, where you've cried. But the cool thing is about Descendants of Zombies fans is everybody feels different about Descendants of Zombies, and that's what creates diversity. And the world can't exist on its axis without diversity. The world just can't spin. And I think that if everybody felt the same way about Descendants of Zombies, it wouldn't create anything. It wouldn't even create diversity, which is sometimes something I really appreciate, because it allows you to stand up and really state how you feel, present a case on how you feel the way you do about Freya Skye, how you feel the way you do about Kylie Contrell, who has ever been supportive of fans, and all they've ever wanted to do is be a part of an industry that they grew up watching. She was such a huge fan of Nickelodeon, she was such a huge fan of Disney, both Kylie Contrell and Freya Skye were, and they wanted to live out a dream of performing for these major companies. Nickelodeon first introduced an opportunity to Kylie Contrell. She turned it down because she wanted to wait for Disney. Freya Skye did the same thing. And now look what happened. Overnight, they were part of franchises they grew up watching ever since the age of 9 years old. And as far as I'm concerned, being a part of a franchise like Descendants is really an iconic honor that's been bestowed upon you, and they really ran with it. It seemed to me, and it really felt to me like people like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson were just there for the opportunity, and they were never there to make the most of it. They wanted to tell a story and complete it. And after the passing of Cameron Boyce, they pretty much used that as an excuse to close the book and never reopen it. I think that no matter how many times you close a book, there is always a chance to reopen it and tell another version of a story, like we're seeing with Descendants, because now we see a greater appreciation for characters from Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella entering the fold. And because of that, that presents a tremendous opportunity to create new storylines. For example, with Red having a sister as one of the many consequences of time travel being seen in Descendants 5. I can never seem to say enough good things about Liamani Segura. And you know what, guys? We haven't even met Liamani Segura. We don't even know anything about her. So because we haven't met Liamani Segura and we hear that she's so excited to meet all of us, we too are excited to meet her and be a part of her story. So this could be opening up the door for a passing of the torch moment where a new story will be told through the eyes of Pink. Obviously, she will have a song, she'll have emphasis on the script, and she'll be one of the most revered characters of all time. People are already referring to her as a mini Bridget. While I may think that is pretty disrespectful without giving her a chance, again, we really have to give people more of a chance on this script. We shouldn't just jump to conclusions and say this is what's going to happen because the daughter of Captain Hook, Hazel, is going to be seen in this movie for the first time ever, played by Keanu Romero, which is a name that I can't seem to get in my head either, because I think Captain Hook having a daughter has really been years in the making. I say this because I was a huge fan of Peter Pan and Wendy, both the animated classic and the live action from I think a couple of years ago. Actually, they shot part of Peter Pan and Wendy here in Newfoundland where I live. So I had a greater appreciation for that, and I had a greater appreciation for the Peter Pan classic from the 1950s, because I go back as far as the latter part of the 1980s being a Disney fan. So whatever Disney had happening for it, I had a greater appreciation for. So when it came to classics of The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, I had a greater appreciation for it because I was there for the premieres of it, and I was so excited ever since I was 5 years old, being a fan of Disney and Nickelodeon. Because the thing about Disney and Nickelodeon were they would promote themselves as this was the life to live for every kid. This was every kid's dream, to want to be a part of Disney. And I always wanted to go to Disney World. I always wanted to be a part of the Disney company as the announcer or as an actor to really bring it to life, because I thought I could offer a lot to franchises and some of the most successful of all time. Because I've been forever waiting on characters from Hercules, I've been forever waiting on characters from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and even Alice in Wonderland, because I've often posed the question of where is Alice in this franchise, because you can't have a franchise based off Alice in Wonderland characters without Alice or someone of significance of Alice's history being involved in it. And the cool thing is about Descendants, The Rise of Red, is there are so many Alice in Wonderland characters and even characters from Cinderella that have yet to see their introduction into the franchise. Like, where is the mice? Or where is that crazy cat that used to chase after the mice in Cinderella? I forget what his name was, but I know one of the mice's name was Jock, and I think he had an English accent. He was kind of really crazy. But, I mean, when you think about the cat and how crazy he was about the feud with the mice and how Jock felt about being chased after a cat and how appreciative he was of Cinderella, I think there is so much of an opportunity to create with this franchise. So for the people that are trying to convince you that this story has been told and completed and been retold so many times, I think they really need to take a step back and really think about, you know, how much of a greater appreciation there is for characters of Alice in Wonderland having a total of 4 books in the series, and 2 of them having been left unexamined, and then Cinderella having been retold so many times, because there are so many different versions of this story, so many different takes that we often forget about, because we often just think about the Disney version of it and how, you know, happy-go-lucky Cinderella was no matter what her circumstances were, having a dream of finding true love. And with friendship having a stronger emphasis in the original Cinderella classic between Cinderella and the mice and every living thing that Cinderella may have encountered. The thing was, because of her friendship with the mice, that allowed her to go to the ball and find true love, even if it was at the expense of leaving a glass slipper behind. She found Prince Charming, and because she found Prince Charming, we're at a point now where we have daughters and sons being emphasized now in the Descendants franchise, which gives us a greater appreciation for it. You know, there's been this conversation about who's going to play the live-action Rapunzel in Disney's live-action Tangled, and because there's been so much of a conversation, I've often wanted to include Freya Skye's name in the conversation, because too much of the conversation revolves around Dove Cameron. Too much of the conversation has forever revolved around Sabrina Carpenter. So I think that if you're going to suggest names to play the live-action Rapunzel for Disney's live-action Tangle, which reportedly has picked up production again, I think there's a greater value and a greater appreciation by suggesting names like Freya, Skye, and Ruby Rose Turner into that conversation, because you just can't have that conversation with the same 3 or 4 names. Because forever, the conversation's been about Ariana Grande and her sequel, Wicked for Good, coming out in November. Forever, the conversation's been about Sabrina Carpenter, and the only explanation we're given is because Sabrina Carpenter is the most lifelike Disney princess of all time and the most lifelike Rapunzel that we've ever seen. I think that if we open up the door more widely for more people to be suggested in that conversation, which I will forever advocate for Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Skye to be in and be involved with, because I think that they're just merely figuring out their place in the world, because I've often raised the issue of, what do you know at 15? I mean, all I knew at 15 years old was playing the latest episode of Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation 2 or playing Metal Gear Solid 2. That's what I was doing when I was 15 years old, was playing the latest video game of Metal Gear Solid, because Metal Gear Solid 2 was the most revered video game of that generation at the turn of the millennium. I mean, PlayStation was coming up with great video games, and I remember playing video games like the original Hercules Classic. The thing is, there's such a greater appreciation for the history of these characters that I think there's a greater emphasis that can always be given to them. And I think that because there's a greater emphasis that can happen for these stories, and so much of an expansion that can be offered because of so many fans of Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella, because they do exist out there, I think these franchises have a chance of lasting for forever. And this really is the first franchise that actually has a legitimate argument or chance to be presented for it. And I will forever support that. I will forever support everybody who has ever been a fan of things like Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella, because I was too. I mean, how many nights did I watch the original Cinderella classic? And when they turned it into a live action, which became Disney's first attempt at a live action back in 2010 with Johnny Depp, I was blown away by it. And I think that adding a greater emphasis on that and having a greater appreciation showcase by bringing it into a live action for the first time ever for Descendants, based off Disney Villain Kids, I think not only is there a greater appreciation on Disney Villain Kids, but the villains themselves, because Disney is really coming to its own, showcasing a greater appreciation for villains like Ursula and Maleficent and Captain Hook and so many others like Hades, who had a great role in Descendants 3. By the time Descendants 3 happened, we discovered the history between Mal and Hades and how Hades was her dad, and the relationship between Maleficent and Hades haven't happened, which sounds really weird sometimes. I know, I get that, but that's what makes Descendants so unpredictable, because we don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. So because we don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next, when it finally does happen, the same thing can be said for zombies, we're blown away by it. And then so much conversation happens on social media. More people have been more excited than ever before, because if there ever was a time to be excited about the future of Descendants and Zombies, that time is now. And I couldn't be more excited to be a part of it, because I have a lot of predictions to be made about what's inside of that vortex, or what's going to happen next in the Descendants chapter, because I really believe there's always an opportunity to write a new chapter, to present a new argument. And as long as there's a new opportunity to present a new argument, that opens up the door for more storylines, that presents the opportunity for more oh my god moments, because I heard your guys' reactions in the Worlds Collide Tour crowd. I mean, a lot of you were shouting out, oh my god, you couldn't believe it was happening. And that's exactly what I wanted to happen for you guys, and what made me so proud to be a reviewer on YouTube of this kind of thing. Because for the foreseeable future, I really do believe you guys deserve the best reviews possible that anyone can give you about Descendants and Zombies. And if you can't put together a review of Descendants and Zombies, then you pretty much have no business or no place in the conversation about Descendants and Zombies. So if you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies, the best thing you can do, or should do at least, is show up on YouTube and upload a video about Descendants and Zombies that actually makes sense to the people who watch it. Because there are a lot of people who watch the same 4 or 5 videos every single night about Descendants and Zombies, and the videos really aren't living up to the criteria of the fan. Because what you've got to do is you really got to put yourself in the position of the fan, and think about the fan who's watching this video, who knows everything there is to know about Descendants and Zombies. I mean, if you're a fan of zombies, you know that Meg Donnelly's favorite TV show from Disney was always Andy Mack. And even though Andy Mack only lasted like 4 seasons, it was her favorite show. You should know her favorite color is orange. You should know that Kylie Control loves LA merchandise, with everything written like that with I Love LA on it. The thing is, if you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies, you should know that this is what's going down. And Descendants and Zombies is really the most appreciative thing happening for Disney right now. It is cool to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies. You know, years ago, for me, being a fan of the Power Rangers was considered cool. And if you weren't a fan of the Power Rangers, you were pretty much considered a loser. But the thing is, this is what's happening for Descendants of Zombies. Descendants of Zombies is cool, and it's a fad, and I think it's a fad that has a chance of lasting for forever. So I think that because it's cool, we should support it. And we should upload great videos about Descendants of Zombies, which is exactly what I intend on doing. So if you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, you should know Meg Donnelly's favorite color is orange. You should know that Kylie Control loves to buy LA merchandise. So the thing is, I've had a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies. So for those of you who are wondering why this YouTube channel is so popular, it's so popular because I love talking about Descendants of Zombies, and I love forever and always uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies. So if it comes down to me having to upload 500 videos of Descendants of Zombies, which will happen for this YouTube channel this forthcoming weekend, I believe on Thanksgiving weekend in Canada, we'll have 500 videos about Descendants of Zombies uploaded. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, to everybody watching these videos in Canada. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I am celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend, but I will be here throughout the Thanksgiving weekend, and it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet each and every one of you and to share my opinions on Descendants of Zombies with each and every single person who ever thought they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies. It's been an experience that I will never, ever forget. So I have a lot of things to get to about Descendants of Zombies throughout today. I hope you will join me for it. I'll have another show before I head out to the Tron Ares premiere later on this evening. And then when I come back, I will have a new video uploaded for you as well after the Tron Ares premiere. But before I head out, I'm going to make sure I have enough content out about Descendants of Zombies, because I think the conversation about Descendants of Zombies is forever ongoing. I think so many people love Descendants of Zombies for the reasons they have, and I think they deserve to be respected with great videos and great reviews about Descendants of Zombies, because I too was a fan of Alice in Wonderland. I too was a fan of Cinderella, and I too was a fan of Kylie Control's obsession with I Love LA merchandise, which is really hard to roll off the back of your tongue. But guys, seriously, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown these videos. On hitting that subscribe and that like button, because I love when I get subscribers and I see my subscriber count going up all the time. If you are a fan of Descendants of Zombies, I'm here to let you guys know there is nothing wrong with that for the foreseeable future. Keep on rocking out the Descendants of Zombies and keep on supporting Freya Skye, because all the love and support that we're showing Freya Skye is certainly showing us that we are some of the most dedicated fans in the entire world, and showing her that we will never quit on her, because all the love and support we're showing Freya Skye is really benefiting her and allowing her to explode in popularity, and that's exactly what I wanted to have happen for her. Freya, we love you so much. Keep up the great work. Keep on rocking out the Descendants of Zombies music, and Freya Skye, guys, we will talk again later on this afternoon. Stay calm and zombie on into the foreseeable future.